Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of entertainment legends. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're shining the spotlight on a jazz icon, the incomparable Charlie Parker. Known as Bird or Yardbird to his friends and fans, Charlie Parker was a saxophonist and composer who revolutionized the world of jazz with his lightning-fast solos and harmonic innovations. But before he became a legend, Charlie Parker was just a young boy from Kansas City, Missouri, with a passion for music that would change his life forever. Born on August 29, 1920, in Kansas City, Kansas. Charlie Parker grew up in a musical family. His father, Charles Sr., was a railroad worker who also played the saxophone, and his mother, Addie, was a homemaker who sang in the church choir. Charlie's early life was marked by a strong sense of community and family, with his parents encouraging his love of music from an early age. He began taking piano lessons at the age of 7, but it wasn't until he received an alto saxophone from his father at the age of 11 that he found his true instrument. As Charlie entered his teenage years, he became increasingly fascinated with jazz music. He would often sneak into local jazz clubs to watch musicians like Lester Young and Coleman Hawkins perform, and he spent hours practicing their solos on his saxophone. Charlie's dedication to his craft was evident even at a young age, and his parents supported him every step of the way. His mother, Addie, would often take him to see concerts at the Kansas City Auditorium, where he would watch in awe as jazz greats like Duke Ellington and Count Basie performed. The Kansas City of Charlie's youth was a vibrant and thriving city, full of music, dance, and art. The city's 18th and Vine district was the hub of the jazz scene, with clubs like the Gem Theater and the Lafayette Hotel hosting some of the biggest names in jazz. Charlie would often hang out on the corner of 18th and Vine, listening to musicians like Benny Moten and Walter Page, and learning from them as he went along. As Charlie's skills improved, he began to perform with local bands, including the Deans of Swing, a group that allowed him to hone his skills in a live setting. These early performances were crucial in building Parker's confidence as a musician, and introduced him to the thrill of performing for audiences. It was during this period that Charlie met his first wife, Rebecca Ruffin, with whom he had a son, Francis, but the marriage was short-lived due to Charlie's increasing focus on his music career. The historical context of Parker's early years was marked by significant social and economic changes in America. The 1920s and 1930s saw the rise of jazz as a major force in American music, with cities like Kansas City, New Orleans, and Chicago becoming hubs for jazz innovation. This era also witnessed the Great Depression, which had a profound impact on the lives of many Americans, including Charlie Parker's family. Despite these challenges, the Parker household remained supportive of Charlie's musical ambitions, recognizing the potential for music to offer a better life. By the time Charlie Parker turned 18, he had already made a name for himself in Kansas City's jazz circles as a talented young saxophonist with a unique sound. His early influences, including jazz greats like Coleman Hawkins and Lester Young, were evident in his playing style, which was beginning to take on a distinctive character. However, Charlie felt an insatiable urge to explore beyond the boundaries of Kansas City, to immerse himself in the vibrant jazz scene of New York City, where he believed his talents could be fully realized. The journey ahead would be marked by incredible achievements, personal struggles, and innovations that would forever change the landscape of jazz. As Charlie arrived in New York in 1939, he was immediately struck by the city's fast-paced and competitive music scene. He spent countless hours jamming with other musicians, honing his skills, and absorbing the diverse influences that surrounded him. One of his earliest mentors was pianist Art Tatum, who introduced Charlie to the complexities of jazz harmony and encouraged him to push the boundaries of his playing. Charlie's big break came in 1942 when he joined the Earl Hines Orchestra, a prestigious ensemble that featured some of the most talented musicians of the time. It was during this period that Charlie developed his signature sound, characterized by lightning-fast solos, intricate melodic lines, and a deep understanding of jazz harmony. His playing style was influenced by the likes of Coleman Hawkins, Lester Young, and Roy Eldridge, but he was already beginning to forge his own unique path. In 1944, Charlie joined the Billy Eckstine Orchestra, where he befriended other young musicians who shared his passion for innovation and experimentation. This group included trumpeter Dizzy Gillespie, pianist Thelonious Monk, and bassist Oscar Pettiford, among others. Together, they formed a tight-knit community that would go on to revolutionize the world of jazz. One of the most significant events in Charlie's life during this period was his meeting with Dizzy Gillespie. The two musicians quickly became close friends and collaborators, bonding over their shared love of jazz and their desire to push the genre forward. They spent countless hours jamming together, exploring new harmonic concepts, and developing the fast-paced, complex style that would become known as bebop. As Charlie's reputation grew, so did his opportunities. He began to perform at top venues like Minton's Playhouse and the Apollo Theater, where he shared the stage with jazz legends like Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington. His unique sound and energetic stage presence quickly made him a favorite among audiences, and he became known as one of the most exciting young musicians in the city. Despite his rapid rise to fame, Charlie struggled with personal demons, including a heroin addiction that would haunt him for much of his life. However, his passion for music remained unwavering, and he continued to innovate and experiment, always seeking new ways to express himself through his instrument. The 1940s were a time of great creativity and innovation in jazz, with musicians like Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, and Thelonious Monk pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The bebop movement, which emerged during this period, was characterized by fast tempos, complex harmonies, and a focus on individual expression. Charlie was at the forefront of this movement, using his incredible technical facility and deep understanding of jazz harmony to create music that was both intellectually stimulating and emotionally powerful. Despite his well-documented battles with heroin addiction, Charlie's passion for music remained unwavering. He continued to innovate and experiment, always seeking new ways to express himself through his instrument. One of the most significant events in Charlie's life during this period was his collaboration with strings. In 1949, he recorded a series of sessions with a string section, featuring arrangements by Jimmy Mundy and Joe Lipman. These recordings, which included beautiful renditions of Just Friends and April in Paris, showcased Charlie's ability to adapt his unique sound to a more traditional orchestral setting. Charlie's relationship with Chen Richardson, a dancer and jazz enthusiast, also played an important role during this period. The two met in the early 1950s, and their romance helped to stabilize Charlie's personal life. Chen became a source of emotional support for Charlie, encouraging him to pursue his music while also helping him to navigate the challenges of his addiction. In 1953, Charlie formed a quintet with trumpeter Chet Baker, pianist Russ Freeman, bassist Carson Smith, and drummer Larry Bunker. This group, which was known for its relaxed, introspective sound, featured some of Charlie's most beautiful playing. Their recordings, including My Little Suede Shoes and There Will Never Be Another You, showcased Charlie's ability to create complex, nuanced music that was both intellectually stimulating and emotionally powerful. As the 1950s drew to a close, Charlie's health began to decline. His years of struggling with addiction had taken a toll on his body, and he suffered from a range of ailments, including a heart condition and cirrhosis of the liver. Despite these challenges, Charlie continued to perform and record music, always pushing himself to new heights. One of the most iconic recordings from this period is Now's the Time, a live album featuring Charlie's quintet with Chet Baker. This recording, which was made in 1953 at the Massey Hall in Toronto, captures the magic of Charlie's live performances, with their spontaneous improvisations and deep emotional connection. As we reflect on Charlie Parker's life and career, it's clear that his legacy extends far beyond his own music. He was a true innovator, a master musician who helped to shape the course of jazz history. His influence can be heard in the playing of countless musicians, from John Coltrane and Sonny Rollins to Miles Davis and Bill Evans. As Charlie himself once said, "Music is your own experience, your thoughts, your wisdom. If you don't live it, it won't come out of your horn." These words capture the essence of Charlie's approach to music, which was always deeply personal and rooted in his own unique experiences. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.